I need to get some rest, but I need your seed.
Why?
Well, to sleep with it.
And as you fall, Enwin is still on his feet. The rest of you fall and break all of the tables inside of the Cheshire Club. To which Bo goes, "Come on!"
Best day ever!
Group, though. He would work with the group because he likes Cass, and that would just be really, really awkward on the battlefield.
What?
I don't think that's an awkward. Perfect person to protect Cass. I
Wait,
like
what?
it. Let's go.
I'm still
I
here.
don't need protection.
I'm still here. At the...
I know you are, sweetie.
Chris,
It's okay.
shh. The adults are talking. Shh.
Oh,
One
alright.
second, buddy.
I like it. I'm gonna. What did
Chris
you think
likes
of
Cass?
I like.
What have you been?
Ibs was a little pretentious.
This was
And
my
for
favorite.
me.
I like Bob.
Thanks, Perry.
Alright.
Appreciate it.
Are you gonna leave?
Yeah, the crew needs me.
You go, and I'm gonna stay right here.
Oh my god.
And he nods his head. And he nods his head and walks you over to the door. And sort of opens the door.
Oh man.
There was mouth stuff poison. Oh yeah,
No smell stuff.
that came out wrong. Sorry.
Sorry. I could not laugh.
Person has died, Ryan. A little decorum,
Death
please.
due to mouth stuff. Come on, get over it.
I'll go home
Smack him
now.
across the face. I'm like, wake up.
All right, you smack Ryan across the face. We're set up in these stands or floating above the water. Have never seen a ship cross the finish line, but first. And they all watch as the first thing they see is Monkey C. Written along the side of the ship, crossing and backwards. And you have crossed the finish line. Congratulations, crew. You have won the first High Lock race for the briefest of seconds. Let them be. Let them love and hurt and change and tell stories and die fighting and pouring drinks and doing the right thing even though it hurts. Just let them be. We can give them that.
Rhinoceros, right?
No,
Right as I-
That's not a rhino.
Right as I turn the stream back on. Icky! Ah, that's amazing. I love you. Thank you so much. You're the bestest. Oh, and you unlocked a little emote for us. What did you unlock? Oh, it's the person who bars behind the door. Hi, everybody. Hello. Welcome. We are so easily distracted, it's not even funny. Welcome to Indigo Chameleon. It is Thursday night. It is time for a little Dungeons and Dragons. Thank you so much for tuning in to our Dungeons and Dragons meets historical fiction show. For everybody that's hanging out in the chat, Wolf Garin, Somebody Sometime, Icky V, Meowedith, Indigo Chameleon. Yeah, all of you guys. Thank you so much, and everybody else that's tuning in tonight. We've got a few announcements. As always, you can come hang out with us on the Discord. We'd love to have you there, and you can learn the most up-to-date information on shows. We also have a merch store. You can find cool merchandise like coffee mugs and prints and T-shirts and cool hats. What's that one big Uno? Hey, Val. We also have Dimitri.
Wait, you guys got hats?
We do have hats. I have a cool hat. I'm not wearing it tonight, but yeah, it's got the new logo with the D20 karma wrapped around the D20.
Oh, I'm all over that action. Okay, sorry for interrupt.
No, it's good. It's right. Interrupt away. We also have plenty of ways for you to interact with the stream. As we say on Indigo Chameleon, there is always a seat at the table for you, and that holds true for all of our games. There are ways for you to mess with our players if you want to use your hard-earned bits and earn some stream points, because every time you spend bits, you get stream points and stuff like that. You can do that. You can also just tune in and watch and follow and click that little karma right below the little chat screen, and you'll earn bits to earn your ways towards +5s to rolls for players, or in Magnoth's case, deification. So thank you so much for everybody that comes and hangs out with us. 12 or 10 cents, hello. Zuli, hello. Lord Zemnis, hello. Yes, thank you so much. Upcoming schedule for this week. Tomorrow is Friday. We go back to Neverland with the crew from Never as they go and explore the Bizarre Bazaar, a pirate bazaar where they can spend their hard-earned gold and get some magical items. There's also some interesting things that are going to come up at the Bizarre Bazaar as we meet up with an old friend and we learn about an enemy that's been off the radar for a little bit of time that has suddenly come back. So tune in for the shopping episode unlike any other. Yes, Zuli, a shopping episode. So tune in. They're excited about spending their gold, and I'm excited about taking it. So that'll be on Friday. On Tuesday, we go back to Wonderland. No show on Sunday, no show on Monday. There's all sorts of interesting stuff going on. Oh, speaking of no show on Saturday, though, Kiara, Icky V, now that you've just taken a bite of food,
Okay.
do you have anything that you'd like to plug on Saturday?
I am hosting a game Saturday night on. We do Friday nights and Saturday nights on my channel. We are late night people though, so we are late. If you guys are like night owls and can't fall asleep, you need something ridiculous to listen to, please tune in. We have plenty of stuff going on. We just got back from a couple of pretty big adventures. We found a glacier dragon, and last week my team fought an 8-headed hydra that could cast spells. So it was a fun day. They hated me, but it was a fun day. Nobody died.
I would like to brag on Icky V's stream. It is so good. They go so late that there has been a couple of Saturdays where I have been watching, fallen asleep, and then woken up to Icky V going, "You want to do what?" So yes, and it's an amazingly fun time. So please tune in on Saturday for that. And then Tuesday we go back to Wonderland, where nothing bad ever happens as we continue our trip to find Nyx as we talk to the tracker from Wonderland. And Indigo Chameleon's character gets to talk to an ex of hers as we start the episode with her having a conversation with Enwyn. So we'll see how that goes. I'm sure it'll be fine. Spoilers, it won't go fine.
Wow, thanks.
No,
You got her crying already,
No.
and we haven't even started our show.
Once upon a time on the Lost Isle, the heroes went through a bit of a metamorphosis, the team as a whole, on last week's episode, and I encourage you to watch it. Last week was something I've never done in D&D before, but my love for shows like Community and The Office and things like that had me create something I affectionately call the bottle episode. I've never done one before, and so I created a bottle episode with the entire thing taking place in either one room or one building, the library, in which our heroes call their home. A threat attacked the island, and the group was quarantined to a particular building where they met another gentleman, Sai, who was accidentally pushed into this room at the last second, and was just sort of an ordinary, average person that got wrapped up in business. But after a long string of events, Sai has become the group's new ipso facto DM, their connection to the council of people that rule over the island. The island is an island that travels in and out of the currents of time, leaving Kiara, William, Texas, Turk, and Cass as a group of adventurers that travels throughout time, righting wrongs, and while unraveling the mystery revolving around Arthurian legend. We pick up right where that episode left off. All of you have had a long rest for the evening. William, you have established your room in the library. Do you want to give us a brief breakdown of what that room looks like?
It was like my office, basically a map room of sorts with all sorts of scrolls rolled up into little not little balls, little tight scrolls along one wall. Like there's like hundreds of them, like tucked into like little spots, and then you got giant maps on the other side. Yeah, just imagine a cartographer's dream.
I love it. Rainy Keys, hello, welcome, old friend. Welcome back. Yeah, I love this. I can see your room very clearly in my mind as just it's sort of a mixture of this room filled with old pieces of paper and stuff like that. And if you've ever ridden Spaceship Earth at Epcot, the guy sitting at the table like passed out over his scribe work, like that's one of those big architectural desks that I imagine in your room. So all of you are woken up as the island has shifted through the seas of time. You are actually awakened, some of you, as you go about your morning routines and begin to either take a surf or explore the island, explore a newfound freedom that you normally did not have. I just need a brief breakdown of what you would have done with your morning. We're not going to get deep into it because I'm anxious to get into the next phase of our adventure. But give me a brief insight into what the characters would do. Turk.
Well, upon wake up, Turk actually caught sight of. He hates to say he thinks he's got a cockroach in the room. He hasn't been able to track it down or not, but it was scurrying around in the corner and stuff, and he went to find it. It kind of ran away. He's not sure what's going on with that. From California, he's not. He knows cockroaches happen, and so not going to really give that much thought beyond that. He's going to go hit the waves.
I love it. Turk hitting the waves and just coming back as soon as he's like properly exhausted from the morning activities. Yep. What does Cass do in the morning?
Cass is actually going to head out to the Time Emporium from I think 2 days ago.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
She stopped in to see if there was anything she could grab when they ended up back in 2019.
Sure.
And she ended up grabbing a couple things, and she's going to head back and go see Gilly and maybe get some cash.
Sure. As you walk into the shop, the first thing that you notice, Cass, is that the shop that was once barren with sort of empty shelves, which was a front, is now packed to the brim with bags of Cheetos and 2-liter bottles of soda. As you realize the shop fills with every stop that the island makes, gearing these special treasures out to the people. However, you follow the path that you followed once before of saying that you're here to see Gilly, and you head towards the back. Gilly is propped up on a beanbag playing an N64. It looks like he's playing a Pilot Wings game on the N64. And as you come into the space, he pauses the game, jumps up, and greets you with a wide, like, sort of car dealer smile as you come in carrying a bag of goods.
Hey, I see I'm late. You got everything already.
You are. Usually it happens, the quicker, people don't have the luxury that the rest of you have on the island.
Yeah, and then we got caught by that weird fog, and then we got locked down, and it was really weird.
Sure.
Yeah. So you got everything, huh? That's really cool. What kind of cool movie props did you get back?
He brings you over to a small case. And he goes, we only actually got the one. And he brings you over to a small case, and it looks like a robotic figure. It looks like a robotic like arm, but it's obviously made of like plastic. You see bits of the metal flaking off, and it's got a big thumbs up.
Cass doesn't know what that is, but I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, what is that? It's a thumbs up.
Oh, this is actually from a movie called Terminator 2. It's a yeah, I think it's a non-fiction movie about a robot uprising. I'm not quite sure what humans are into.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I'm on board. Sorry, it's a little weird. Okay, well, I guess you don't need another one, so. that's
No,
fine.
no, no. We'll take another one. What do you have?
Oh, well, I'm kind of into like it's a book series. It was turned into a movie series. It was kind of turned into a whole bunch of stuff, and then like you start collecting stuff, and then your room kind of fills with it, and they're not like they're just little things, but they're there. I have this, and she pulls out like a replica of one of the wands from Harry Potter.
Interesting. He takes the wand up and he goes, "Oh, this is good. This is very good. You're willing to sell this?
Sure.
Okay. How much do you want for it?"
Well, I mean, I think you said it was 1,000 or something.
Yes. Yes, 1,000 points. You're absolutely right.
So what's the exchange rate for points?
Oh,
I think it's worth more than 1,000.
you know, it kind of varies based on the day. Points are usually exchanged for anything unique that I get. You get first dibs in the store. You get to come in like an hour early. It's usually like a gold piece to a point. You know what I mean?
I see. Okay. So this is something that interests you, and maybe other things that I have your buyer might also maybe want.
Sure, absolutely.
Okay. Are you familiar with this movie or books?
Yes, I'm very familiar with them.
Oh, okay. All right. I only brought the one thing, but I can run back and get the rest. But I kind of okay, that's not true. I have one more, but I really don't want to get rid of it. So,
Are you purposely being this way? Is Cass being this way, or is this a ploy to?
no, Cass is not getting rid of the time turner in her dice bag.
Okay, all right.
You can fight for it if you really want him to have it, though.
Cass. Okay. No. So do you take out the time turner?
Yes.
Okay.
This is really special to me. But there's something bigger. And if you can make me a really good offer, I could consider parting with it.
Bigger than the time turner?
No. This time turner. This is the thing I don't want to part with.
He starts laughing. He takes the time turner and like turns it. Does time stop?
If you hold your breath, I guess it might. It's not real, of course. It's a movie prop.
He
That's what
take-
you asked for.
He takes a time turner out of his shirt.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess these are pretty common around here. Never mind.
No, he flips his. Nothing changes. But when you, but all of a sudden you're wearing a hat.
You didn't. Wait. What? What? Wait. What did you just do?
Look, just because Mordru doesn't want us leaving the island, doesn't mean that we don't leave the island. There are ways. You think we're gonna stay here, all of us, forever and ever? This is a place of magic. Religious artifacts are just things people put faith into. The minute they built that frickin' amusement park, people have been putting faith into all of these things.
Yeah.
I'm good. But I will take the wand.
If I put faith in the one, what's it gonna do?
Depends.
Wait, really? I was teasing. That's super cool. How does it work? Like, do you know? Can you tell me? Is it a secret? I don't know.
It is. I'll tell you for 500 points.
What's the exchange rate for a talking point?
He raises an eyebrow.
Okay. Yes, of course. I can't say no to that.
Good. So you're going to exchange?
The wand.
Okay. Yeah, you hand over the wand, and he goes, very nice. And he takes the wand and he puts it in a display case. And he's like, I'll send you over a pamphlet detailing how this whole faith thing works. And he sits down in the beanbag and unpauses the game.
So what about the other 500 point?
Yeah, you better hold on to those. Keep track.
Okay. Uh, got it. Thanks. Enjoy your game or whatever.
He waves at
What
you.
is that?
It's just Pilot Wings. It's on the N64. It's a classic.
Cool. Whatever.
He
Thanks.
he takes a sip of his drink and just sort of like absent-mindedly waves to you as the door opens, leading you back out to the shop. Mark down that you have lost the wand. You have 500 points. Wait till you see the weird items in this store, Cass. Cool. What does Kiara do with her mornings?
Kiara is still a bit upset from yesterday. She's not a happy camper.
Sure.
So she would have been up all night reading her book because that's just how she is.
Absolutely.
She probably found she curled up in her little reading like nook in her room and is passed out with this book wide open in her lap.
This is the King Arthur book, right? You find one reference to Sai in this book. It is a story about how in some of the Arthurian legends, a lot of these stories have been translated and passed down and brought to another language, and you lose stuff in translation a lot of the time. There are many books that detail the specific knights, and it gets a little wonky because King Arthur did exist in some fashion. Like, there are historical records, but where does fiction and nonfiction and life and reality meet? For people that played a fictional game that turned out to be real, the veil is even thinner, I'm sure. You do find a story in there about how Arthur realized that as he got older, his shortcomings, he could fill that gap by having people that were particularly good at certain aspects. Kiara, give me an insight check.
And if my character sheet wants to load, I had to refresh it, and now it's
Enhance. Enhance.
thinking about it. Okay, almost.
Nope, this is a
I've got
different
the panels
character.
now.
This is a different character. This is not my...
Come on, you can do it. Okay, there you go. Insight,
Yes.
and that's 17.
17. Okay. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to give you this one. You're reading the book. It's late at night. You spent the entire night reading the book, right? You're spending the morning reading the book. You fall asleep with the book, and then you are woken up to a sound, from a sound sleep going, and you look at the page, and you look down, and you start digging through all the old books and stuff that you have in your room, throwing away books, and reach down and grab your tattered copy of the Player's Handbook. You start looking at the knights that Arthur surrounded himself with. Surrounded himself with people that would be really good at being sneaky. And you look down at the rogue sublist. And then you find out that he's got knights that were particularly good at counseling. And you look down and you start drawing parallels between the int-based class. And then you find those that were good at being loud and boisterous, and you start looking at the charisma-based classes. And you start, in a feverish pitch, start drawing connections from the knights that he would keep in council, paying somewhat homage to some of the basic classes in D&D. You don't know if it's anything, but I'm going to give you that with a 17. Okay? That's how you spend your morning.
Okay.
William, what are you doing, man? It's your first day of freedom.
I am relishing the fact that I don't have to do any paperwork. But I would love to check out the library.
Yeah. As you wake up in the morning and you just start looking through books and things like that, La'Arathel is back. She looks very, very happy. She's got a big smile on her face, and she's particularly engrossed with a new book that she has at her disposal. And every time she looks through it, she's smiling, and you think yeah. But she's sitting at the big table.
And I just want to inquire what caught her fancy.
Oh, I was just doing a little research on big lizards.
How big?
Pretty big. and the particular prey that they like.
Interesting.
Very.
Want to share?
No, not at all. So, I heard you got to demotion.
Oh, I was just gonna tell you.
Uh-huh. Only thing.
But I'm glad you heard. So.
Only thing that moves faster than the island itself is the rumors regarding the island.
Yeah. So I'm feeling pretty good.
Are you happy?
I think so.
Good. I'm glad.
So there's a lot of the restrictions that I don't have to deal with anymore. But
What restrictions would that be, William?
my time.
Any others?
There's a few.
Such as?
Definitely don't have to do any more paperwork.
Oh, aye.
But maybe we can explore some of the other things later when you have some time.
Are you asking me on a date, William?
Well, I kind of owe you.
I think there are better ways of asking a lady on a date than talking about exploring restrictions.
Well, I thought maybe your mom wouldn't be so mad at me.
Oh, is that your goal? To have my mother not be mad at you?
Well, she didn't really like my disposition.
And you want her to like you?
Think of worse things?
I'm going to have to give you a book on women, William.
Cut this guy some slack.
That's not who she is. She chuckles a bit and she goes, when you get back, we'll talk about how you can make my mother happy and we can explore these restrictions. Maybe over a pint. Does that sound good?
Fair enough. Very much so.
Perfect. It's a date.
You said it.
I did. Go look at the books, William.
Yes.
All right. You spend a little bit of time looking at the books and exploring the library. You're starting to notice that the stock is increasing. The more time that Arathel spends exploring the island, Zuli, you're the best. We love you so much. Thank you. And you see as you explore there are more and more books finding themselves upon the shelves. You're reticent to touch any of the books on the first floor, knowing what that means. But you do spend a little bit of time exploring, and you're noticing the stock is increasing.
Just wanted to see how quickly this was going.
Yeah. Texas, what about you? How do you spend your mornings?
Well, Texas is probably going to spend some time playing some of her instruments in the morning because it's important to rehearse. And first thing in the morning while people are trying to sleep is generally the best time to do that. But after that, she's definitely going to, since it's only once a day and I forgot to yesterday, pull something out of that bag of wondrous randomization.
Oh, God. I was kind of hoping
because I can.
I was kind of hoping you forgot about that.
No, I did last time, but I didn't this time. So yay!
Great.
So that's 28.
Yeah, you spend a little bit of time rehearsing. I imagine I don't know if you guys have ever seen that video of the kid in the middle of the Walmart. Well, I don't know what to do. Just playing, singing in the middle of this Walmart. But I imagine that's the equivalent of
Absolutely.
How you all are.
Loudly, because our rooms are all very close together.
Absolutely. You reach over to the bag and you spend your once a day pulling something out of the bag. 28, you said?
28, yes.
Huh. Interesting. A giant pearl comes out of the bag.
Ooh.
It is just it is a pearl. It looks real nice. But you pull this giant pearl out of the bag.
Cool.
Looks like it's worth a nice little bit of coin. You're like, thanks, bag.
Thank you, bag.
Mm-hmm. The bag.
That's me. I'm gonna head up to breakfast.
Yeah. The bag's like, you're welcome. No, that's not true.
Oh,
No. The bag doesn't talk. As you go up to breakfast, each of you are gathered by Sai, who sends a message to each of you wherever your journeys have led you, and says, I think I'd like you all to meet me at the library, please. Post haste. And you all receive this message and head to the library, I suppose, from wherever you are on the island. Sai is standing there. He's got a large wooden chest that he holds in his hand. And as you come into the library, the chest shakes a little bit, like it's the Quidditch supplies in Harry Potter. Like there's a quaffle or something inside, like the chest is shaking. And he puts it down on the ground, and it just shakes on the ground a little bit. He goes, all right, so, I don't know if you noticed, but the island shifted last night. First things first, let's go over some announcements. Jay is not going to be joining you. He is currently indisposed. He's fine, but he's doing some other business for the island, pressing business, and so that's what he's going to be doing for just a little bit of time. All right?
I thought we had to have 6.
It's funny you should mention that. So I've assessed the group and broken you down into your strengths and weaknesses. And as he does, he sort of takes this piece of paper out and he goes, we have a lot of bases covered. The only thing that we don't really have is a strong intelligence. It's no fault of your own. It's just the luck of the die. All of you are somewhat wise, very charismatic, somewhat sneaky, strong, but none of you have the intellectual wherewithal. Kiara, why are you making that face? Stop it. Stop. All of you. So I'm here to a little Texas. Very good. So I cannot travel with you on the island because I don't want to. So instead, I've got this here that's going to make up the difference here. I'm going to open the box now. When I do, I need you on your best behavior, please. And
Cass is going to run to her room, get the broom, come back, mount it, and then get ready.
okay, as you mount the broom, he opens the box, and inside the box is a floating blue orb. The orb is about yay sized. And it is just sort of moving about the space. If you look faintly at this blue orb, you can almost see what looks to be a little eye that's made out of the same, almost like a misty material. And as the orb moves about the space, you see this little eye like blink and sort of look about the space.
Hello?
Hello.
Oh, you talk. I'm so glad. What's your name?
Configuring personalities chosen by the group. Configuring adjectives for personality.
That is a very long name. Can we give you something? Can we get something shorter?
Adjectives requested.
You want
Happy.
adjectives about us?
What did Cass say?
Happy.
Happy. There's one. I need 2 more.
A little confused.
Confused. Got it?
No.
You just out to do this on purpose.
Mm.
Oh, I can probably think of another adjective if nobody else has one.
It's like
What, William?
insightful.
Insightful. Confused. Happy. Insightful. Adjectives confirmed. Configuring personality. Ho ho, guys. How's it going? It's me, your good buddy, Spirit of Intellect. Hey! Oh man, I'm so happy to be here.
Hi, what's your name?
You see as Sai rolls his eyes. And Sai rolls his eyes and he goes, ladies and gentlemen, this is Malish. Malish is a spirit of intellect. Malish has within him all of the intellect that some of our finest wizards had. He was hidden away for quite some time. We couldn't find him. And he actually is a familiar to Gary.
Oh.
He was locked away in a space for quite a bit of time, and apparently with the island shifting and certain places opening up to us, Malish was just discovered. He has refused to work with anyone except for William. So there you have it.
So is Malish going with us?
Malish will be traveling with you. Malish also knows to assume a form a little less inconspicuous. And as that happens, Malish transforms into the derpiest looking dog you've ever seen in your entire life. Malish is a pug. Malish is just this short, squat little pug, like a little stub of a tail that's swishing back and forth, but just a large amount of drool like that comes out of his mouth. And Malish looks up at the group and he's like, "Hey gang, this is gonna be super great, guys. Anytime you need information about stuff, I am here to help."
Can we give you a bow tie?
Yeah, I love bow
Okay.
ties. I'm curious about them too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you know that bow ties were invented way back before regular ties were invented?
Huh. Guys, did you know that?
I did not know that.
Anyway, I'm super smart about stuff, guys. Like, super smart. Like, I used to work with your dad all the time, Gary. William, I worked with your dad all the time. He was a great guy. So sorry. I know that you and I did get a lot of chance to talk, but... Hey, William, do you remember this? And William, standing before you, is a large 7-foot rabbit. Your imaginary friend. Growing up as a kid.
Do we all see this?
Yeah.
That's you?
Hey, it's me, Mr. Bungles.
What?
Who's Mr. Bungles?
Oh, that was me. I used to hang out with William all the time, but I was his imaginary friend.
You're real.
Yeah. And then he goes back to being in pug form. But giant rabbits are not supposed to be walking around all the time, so. But I'm here to help you all. Have you told them that they're going to England yet? And Sai looks down and says, "No, I haven't told them yet." And he looks up at you and says, "You're going to England."
We're going to England. I ain't never been to England.
Sai puts a hand up to his face and looks at you, William, and says, "You two belong together." Yes. Yes. We have found ourselves outside of England. More importantly, you have found yourselves outside of London, close to an area called Shoreditch. This is where you will be heading for several reasons. One, we've been looking for anomalies, and I know that in the past we've sent you to places without any sort of intel whatsoever, but we're not doing that anymore. You're going to have a little bit of reconnaissance while all of you are sleeping. The day is June 20th, 1595. We are, as far as I can tell, 4 days before the opening night of A Midsummer Night's Dream. This play is one of the first plays, if not the first, to happen at a theatre called The Theatre, the bones of which are used to form the globe. However, something has happened. The timeline has been mucked about with. The lead actor in this play, a group of performers known as Lord Chamberlain's Men, has gone missing. This is not supposed to happen. The man's name that is missing is Richard Burbage. Richard Burbage is a lead actor as part of Lord Chamberlain's Men, and he is missing. No one knows why. You all, your first task is to go to the island. I've already spoken with the council. We are willing to pay you for your efforts. No longer the days of you having to scrounge and scavenge for gold. You should be able to make an honest living. For this particular journey, how do we sound? 200 gold a day. that it takes you to solve this, including a token for the Artificer when you return. You will be able to take Maelish with you, but we expect you to head over to Shoreditch, which is just outside of London, and go to the theatre where the actor is missing.
But what are we supposed to do? Find him or figure out where he is?
You
or
are supposed to
bring him
make
back?
sure that he is there for opening night of Midsummer Night's Dream. So much of the arts influences life itself. William Shakespeare is one of the most renowned playwrights of our time. And if he's missing, Richard Burbage went on to play some of the seminal roles in Shakespearean canon. And there is something to be said about William Shakespeare's words holding true, but you need an actor in order to bring those words to life. He should be there. He is not. Fix it.
Let's go. Nobody else? Okay.
What's he look like?
Hat, and when do we leave?
We're going to need clothes for this.
All right. Yes, honestly, I think that is best. No longer do I wish for you to rely on the magics of the island. I think you should have proper clothing. I'm going to send you to a girl that you have yet to meet yet. I'm going to send you to the one and only costumer that we have on the island. She is a... God, I can't believe I'm saying these words out loud. A fashion blogger that found her way to the island, but she has a storehouse full of clothing that you can use, and you will be able to find suitable clothing there, should you wish to have proper physical attire as well as illusional magic that the island
Do we
provides.
have a cover story for being there?
No. I'm leaving that to you. I've risked enough people to go to the island not knowing when we're going to leave.
Last question then.
Please.
What class are we to be when we're there on the island?
What class are you to be?
Yes, are we going as servants? Are we going as upper class? We need to know these things.
I'm sorry, did you want me to wipe when you use the
No,
bathroom as
I
well? Do
want
you want me
you
to, like,
You
chew
said
the food
you were going
like a
to give us
baby
more
bird?
information, so we had information to go off of.
Yes, this is the information that I'm providing for you. Use whatever wily means you wish. If you wish to be elite bureaucrats, I would highly recommend that you don't do that. The theater is set in a bad part of town. The days of posh theater in New York and Broadway are very far removed from this. This area is beset on either side by brothels, bars, gambling houses. This is the dirtiest part of town.
Then we know exactly what we need now to go in there properly, don't we?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Why are we waiting so long? I mean,
That is an excellent question,
I already
Turk.
said let's go.
I thought it was because we didn't know what he looked like and we need to know who we need to find first. Sorry.
Mailing, please inform them of what he looks like as you make your way outside of the town, please. Make your way to the dock. And Sai will sort of stare daggers at Kiara and open the door and usher you all outside of the library.
Okay. I would like to go to the
Is-
costumer first.
yeah, before we walk out, is Lorethel in the room as this is going on?
Yeah, Lorethel is is the Kermit sipping tea meme. She is not reading a book. She is just none of my business. Like she's got both of her feet propped up on the table. She's just watching this scene and watching the back and forth between Kiara and Sai, and then Cass and William being like, "You guys want to go?" And yeah, she's just watching all of this with a morbid fascination.
Lorethel, I don't know if you care. I think we got cockroaches. I just thought I'd let you know.
Oh, you don't have cockroaches. There's nothing. Turk, there's nothing allowed in that room. Creature alike, insect alike, that you haven't brought into the room or given any sort of implicit permission. So if there's a cockroach in your room, then you've given it permission to be there.
Okay.
Hey, Kiara. She walks over to she walks over to the door and she ushers everybody out. She scoots everyone out and she goes, "He's a right git, yeah?
Yeah.
I think he likes you.
Oh.
And she pushes you out the door, and she goes, "Tell Jewel I said hello," and shuts the door.
Jewel?
You make your way over to the warehouse of Jewel. Jewel is the only costumer on the island. As you make your way into this space, you hear Taylor Swift coming from the speakers at a very obscenely loud volume. It is pumping out some Taylor Swift goodness. As you, I don't know a lot about Taylor Swift, but it seems like it fits
Love
this character.
story would be appropriate.
Love story, perfect. I think I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 22. Like it's just it gets stuck in your head.
It's later.
It's
Love
later.
story is about Romeo and Juliet.
Perfect.
Is appropriate.
Yes, that one is playing. Thank you for being my
I'm your in for country music. You're welcome.
Thank you. Jewel is in the space. Jewel is a 7 foot tall. No, she's a little shorter than that. How old is Jewel?
She's 6'9".
No, Jewel. Jewel is a blonde elf. She is about 5'9". She's wearing a tight white shirt with black stripes on it, jean shorts, and stockings, like fishnet stockings, long black boots that are there. And as you come into the space, she looks at all of you and smiles, and she goes, "Oh my gosh, are you the people looking for costumes? Are you going to England?"
Yes.
Oh.
Can we wear tights like that in England?
No,
And boots
you
like
may
that?
not. That's not going to fit in at all. Who are you?
Hi, I'm Cass.
And she runs
Oh,
over and
great.
hugs you. She like hugs you.
Hi.
She's like one of those huggers. She's like, "Oh my gosh, Cass, I love your hair. This is really pretty."
I love your shorts and your tight combo and these boots. It's working for me. I love everything about it.
Oh my god, thank you so much. We're like best friends now.
Besties forever.
And she, hi, you must be Kiara.
Yes.
Yes. It's very nice to meet you. And, Turk, I see you surfing sometimes. You're like really good. You're like so good. You're like so good.
I didn't know anyone was what. Thank you.
Oh my gosh. No, you're so welcome. Hi, and you're Texas, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god, you're so adorable. I want to put you in my pocket. It's amazing. And William, right? You do not look like a jerk. Why does everyone say you're a jerk?
Laura Fell says hello, by the way.
Oh, Lori? Are you guys living at the library?
We are.
Oh. Oh my god, William, you dated her. That's gotta be so weird.
Do you know?
Yeah, oh my god, it was like a
Oh my
nasty...
god, they're like the cutest ever though.
It
Like
was
they should totally get back together,
such a-
right?
No, it was such a bad breakup. Like Lori was here crying, and she was like, "William's too involved in his work, and he doesn't like." She was talking like so much shit about him. It was so bad. But William, you're
sounds
so much
terrible.
nicer than I thought you were gonna be after what Lori said about you.
Well, the good news is he's cut back on his work a bit.
Oh, did you get fired?
This is the greatest day ever. The best.
She's like, "You know what? Enough. Shop talk. Sorry. Let us get you guys suited up. So, you are currently going to be in the 1500s. What sort of like class are we looking at here?
Well, since we're going to
Zumba?
be in the no, we're going to be in the neighborhood of brothels and things of that nature. So probably like maids or stagehands, kind of working class.
Approachable working class. Got it.
Yes.
Okay, I can work with this. And she will spend a fair amount of time taking each of you to the racks and racks of clothes. This is how I imagine it to be. There was a circular room with a mirror on it. Have you ever seen the scene in The Matrix where Keanu goes, "We need guns," and the space just fills with racks of guns? And in this space, think of that, but like clothes, racks of clothes that she can summon and dismiss
Is
and
the construct.
This is the but after a bit
Favorite theater store.
oh my god. This is every costuming loft that you walked into as a drama kid, and you're like, this is amazing. After a bit of time, she does that. Texas, she looks over at you and she goes, hey, would you like some shoes?
Some shoes. I have shoes. Do you have something specific in mind? Because I already have something specific in mind.
Okay, so like legally, I cannot offer magical items to you because like that's not my job, and I can't give you magical items. Like,
Okay.
but
I'm listening.
like unofficially, I totally have these shoes that would look really cute on you, and they're gonna make you appear at a regular like height.
See, I was thinking I might take advantage of my shorter stature
Mhm.
and go for kind of a page look.
Oh
Because
my
kids can get
god!
into a lot of stuff that sometimes adults can't get into.
Oh my god! I'm so sorry.
And Turk's gonna look at her and say, "You're gonna be a kid? Since when is so little sister's out?"
Oh my gosh, I'm just thinking of the good of the party. Can you hold on for just a second?
Turk, can you hold on for just a second? We are talking, Turk.
I was just gonna pat Turk on the back, like, it's okay, buddy.
Okay, so I'm so sorry. Yes, I think you should go like kid and just be like precocious and be like all over the place and be like, have people look at you and be like, ew, are you gonna take my money? And you're gonna be like, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I probably won't say it that way though.
Don't say it like that, but like say it in the way that like heroes say stuff all the time.
Yeah, I'll say it in a really pagey way or something. Yeah.
Ew, Turk, come on. And she like goes over and like gets you some clothes and stuff like that, and everybody is suited up. You now have physical clothing that you can put on.
Well, can I do as she goes? Can I say my action word of surfs up and change my appearance to the type of clothing?
Yeah, absolutely. As she's holding out clothes for you to try on, she goes, you go surfs up and you change it to appear like the clothes in your hand, like matching the clothes. And she goes, oh my gosh, that's great. Thank you for letting me do all this work. And then you can just use your magic. And she folds the clothes and puts them in a little like compartment. She was like, that was so
We're not winning any points with this woman at all.
No. Actually, it's really good because if we get like seen or spotted or someone knows what we look like, he has another option, right? That's good though, right?
Do you want to take these with you, Turk? You know what? He's already answered. That's fine. No. That's fine. No. You don't have to. I'm not going to force these clothes upon you.
No, I think
somebody will
it
wear
would be
these clothes. No,
marvelous.
you hesitated for a second. No, that's fine.
No.
That's fine.
What I'm
That's fine.
saying, the reason for the hesitation, could you bring me out multiple outfits of maybe different class ranges, and I can practice them?
Yes, because that's how I want
That
to.
I get them right.
Yes, because that's how I want to spend the rest of my day. Ew, Turk. No. You will have this. This will be the class. I'm not going to spend the rest of my day pulling out outfits of different classes for you. Okay?
I was just thinking of the party.
And she
You're
hands.
gonna throw down multiple outfits
She
all over England.
she sketches some drawings for you very quickly, and she shows you. I'll say 3 different classes. She's going to show you the next level up of like actor. You know what I mean? Like, so right now you're kind of going as salt of the earth people. Then you've got the actor, sort of mid-range business owner, and then you've got aristocrat. But matching the time era. So Turk, note those down in your notes, okay? That you have the ability to transform into that. But she passes those to you, and then does anybody else have any like requests or anything?
You know, you've done such a fantastic job.
Oh
and
my
I would hate to
God.
bother you.
Sure,
But
no.
what if? Could you possibly? You know, now maybe. I think you're probably the only one that could pull this off. Could you pull off like a beggar's outfit?
Yeah, I mean, I probably could. I have the body for it.
I
but,
think
like,
you're
don't
probably the only
know-
one that.
But I'm not
Maybe.
going. What? I'm not
No,
going,
For
William.
me. For me.
Oh.
You totally don't look like a beggar, by the way.
I know. Thank you, Cass. I love you. You're still my favorite. Yes, I will get
Oh,
you a beggar's outfit.
I would never assume that you would be. That was totally me.
Yeah, well, you kind of said it like that, so I understand why you guys broke up. And she gets you.
Probably also get you an eye patch, William.
Yeah. She.
Not necessary.
It's very easy to get a beggar's outfit because if anybody that does community theater knows, you go to Goodwill, you find a pair of brown pants, you just cut the bottoms really bad, and there's your beggar's outfit. Yeah, she gets you a pair of pants that you can like cut up, and a white shirt that you cut the sleeves off of, and she's like, "Here's your beggar's outfit. It's like really easy to do."
Just OOC, how is not needing an eye patch necessary?
I could take it off.
He
Also, wouldn't the veil take care of it?
the veil would take care of it, but if he wants a physical eye patch, you are granted an eye patch as well. Okay.
Excellent.
She goes, "Okay, well, good luck. Let me know how it goes."
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Do you need anything while we're over there?
Oh my god, no. I mean, like, don't die.
Of course not.
That,
But
that would be
while
so-
we're over there, if there was anything you needed.
Oh my god, you're going to England, right?
Yeah.
Can you guys, like, bring me back, like, what do they have in England? Do they, like, have special candies?
I will see what we can do. We'll bring you back some.
Bring me back something, like, English. Or, like,
Absolutely.
British. Something, oh my god, because they always do that in the Harry Potter movies. They're always like, butterbeer. And they say it like that.
Let's see what we can do.
Yeah, you're doing a really good impression of their voice right now, Kiara. It's, like, super good.
Thank you so much.
Your practice is, like, amazing.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. And she hands Cass like a little small package. She's like, "These are the tights and these are your size," and I just had to eye them. So, but like, don't put them on when you're like being British, because I don't think British people wear tights, like especially not during this time era. So,
Men do.
I'm going to take the little bag and hug it,
yeah.
and then hug her.
Yes. She gives you a hug back, and she's like, "Bye, please don't die. And William, I hope you and Lori get back together."
You're not the only one. Thank you.
Oh my God, she's still dating Jim. That's so juicy. I can't wait to tell everybody. And she closes the door.
Well, that was enlightening, wasn't it?
All of you make your way to the dock, the familiar dock that leads off of the island. You see the boat waiting for you. You have your new spirit of intellect, Malish, who hovers in the air a little bit. You don't have to worry about him trying to catch up with you because he can hover. But when in situations where you're walking through a town and things like that, he will hover close to the ground, maintaining the illusion of a small, derpy-looking pug.
Yeah. So on the boat ride over to the island.
Yeah.
Or can I? I'm gonna put on my thing for the whole boat ride.
Okay. Yeah. Put on your thinking sack. Anybody else preparing any spells or doing anything along those lines particular? I'm going to give you this. I'm going to say that the boat ride is always the equivalent of a short rest. So if you want to prepare a spell, if you want to prepare something during this boat ride, this is your chance to do so before you hit English soil. Wolf is alongside you, Turk. He will be in the appearance of a white dog, which is going to stand out a little bit. Just in this countryside, this like a big white dog, but it shouldn't be too major of a problem. You all have physical clothing on, so when the illusion manifests, I'm just accounting it for physical illusions. Like I don't think anybody has without Jay here, Kiara, you're gonna be the biggest one as a furbolg with sultry eyes. The sultry eyes are still there, but the furbolgness is put aside. Okay. During the boat ride, you arrive in England. The boat arrives in London proper. For the sake of this game, I'm going to say that you managed to catch your bearings and find your bearings fairly well. The weather is warm and somewhat balmy as you arrive. It is June 20th. You know that you are 4 days away from the opening night of A Midsummer Night's Dream, which premiered on June 24th, 1595. During the boat ride, Malish informs you that William Shakespeare is 31 at this point. He gives you a physical description of him, but I think enough of you will have seen those busts or pictures or paintings that you would be able to maybe possibly recognize him. should you encounter him. He informs you of a couple of other things. Lord Chamberlain's Men is the acting troupe that William Shakespeare is a part of. It goes through many incarnations, and it's an actual, like, you can research this. The theater was one of the first, if not the first, there's still some debate, buildings ever established for the purpose of being a place for theater. That's why the name is literally the theater. It was set up by James Burbage. James Burbage is Richard Burbage's father. Richard Burbage became a very famous actor, and because he worked with Lord Chamberlain's Men alongside Shakespeare, the two of them collaborated on lots of different things. But James Burbage co-founded this theater with a guy by the name of John Brayan, Brayne. John was the money guy. John was the guy that was like, okay, I'm gonna fund this. I want half the profits of it. You've got this group of actors that are like the toast of the town. This kid William Shakespeare is getting called to the Queen. This is a time for us to do this. Now, here's the fun part, kids, and the big piece of information. It's hard to get accurate records from this particular time period. But me getting nerdy on you and my love of Shakespeare, I'm gonna share this. It is rumored that Midsummer Night's Dream was the first play in the space. Like, after all of this got established and after this thing kicked off, they needed something big. They needed something that combined the supernatural and a love story and a little bit of adventure. And so to kick off the space, this was the first big thing. And it's rumored that this was one of the major things. Okay? You spend a little bit of time walking through London proper, getting acclimated to the surroundings. It's hard to take a leap from modern day Monterey to the 1500s of England. Personal hygiene, not a huge thing here. Smells are varied. The interactions that people have with you as you walk in the street, boundary, people dumping buckets of things that shouldn't be dumped out of top story windows into the streets below. It is culture shock of the highest degree. But as you walk out of the bustling streets of London and make your way over to Shoreditch, which is just outside of London, you find a road called Curtain Road. And you are attracted to the sounds of an argument taking place. The argument is a few men, one of which you see to be William Shakespeare, who is 31 at this point. He's an average-looking man. He's carrying pieces of loose paper with him at his side, sort of loosely in this small binder. He's already at 31 is got what I affectionately refer to as a 5-head. It's no longer a 4-head; it's a 5-head. But even at 31, he's starting to show the stress that comes with age. He's got a bit of a nervous spirit to him. He is there. You see an older gentleman that looks somewhat similar to Richard Burbage, that you can assume to be James, the father of Richard, who is currently in a heated argument with William. You're a ways away. You can see the two of them arguing in front of a small building, which you can identify as the theater. But what would you like to do, heroes?
Can we hear anything? Actually, make out any words?
Yeah, Turk, give me a perception check. Anybody that wants to try to listen in, you're a ways away, but it's not going to be a high DC. Looking for anything above a 15. 5.
Perception.
No? 20.
That would be an 18 for me.
18. Kiara.
25.
25.
16.
16. Okay.
Uno.
Yeah, William, you forgot to take the sack off. Like, what's going on?
That's what this is.
Yeah, the conversation goes as follows. James is yelling at William, saying, "I don't care how it happened. I I don't have the slightest interest in what you actors get up to. I just know that I have a bloody theatre that needs a bloody opening night, and my son is not here. Now, I don't care if he's the lead of your show. I don't know who Bottom is, and I don't care. I just need him back at this space. Do you have any idea where he might be? And William shakes his head and he goes, as far as I was to know, he was going to be here at this space, sir. And look, the theater, it's, I think that's blood. And James grabs William by the shirt, picks him up a little bit and goes, you listen here. I have leveraged all I have. Every bit of money, every bit of luck, every connection that I have had to make sure that this particular building is constructed. Now, I did not bet on you little shits for you to abandon me at the last second. You find my son, you get him back here, or I will be forced to do something drastic. Do you understand me? And William shakes his head, and James pushes him back and nods. Thank you, Just FML, you're the best. As he does, James goes back to the front of the building and continues to put up what looks to be rudimentary parchment advertising A Midsummer Night's Dream in large letters at the front of the theater.
You want me to see if I can find out any information?
Are there any other
Anybody got
actors-
a paper?
Cass, what was your question?
Are there any other actors milling about, maybe running lines or?
Sure. There's another group off to the side. You see another actor off in the distance, away from this group, who's just on the other side of. He's like on the side closest to where you guys are. It looks like he's pacing back and forth, and he's got a small boy with him. It looks like another kid, akin to Texas. As Texas is like, you guys want me to find out any information? He's over there, and there is a. Like I said before, you guys are in the seedy part of town. It's morning, but on either side of you, this ain't the theater district. There's brothels. Like, you see people, men, I think it's early-ish morning, so men are waking up and leaving the brothels. You're seeing women who are starting to wake up and go to their places and sort of talk to men who are walking and just sort of oddly looking at houses but don't want to be caught looking at the houses and walking past. And you see an actor and a small boy. You also see a gentleman sitting underneath a tree that's just sort of watching this whole event take place. Separate away from this group. He looks like he's eating an apple. But he's not even sitting, he's just leaning up against this tree. He's wearing what looks to be somewhat affluent clothes, and he's just sort of eyeing James as James puts up posters.
I'm going to ask Malish real quick, kind of in sub voice and everything, not trying to.
Hey, Turk. Do you have a question?
Did Richard Burbage have any major competitors, somebody, an understudy or something that might have been jealous of him?
Here's the deal. There was a lot of actors who wanted to get in with the Lord Chamberlain's men, but it was such a tight-knit group, you know? It was like 6 or 7 people, and then they wound up forming a whole bunch of other different groups. Like, they followed along with the king. I think at one point they were Lord Richard's men, but this is the same group that moved with the Globe. Eventually, the theater gets torn down, and they use the wood from this building to form the Globe Theater. It's pretty cool.
Okay, thanks.
That guy over there, it's Thomas. Thomas is trying to he's been trying to get into the Lord Chamberlain's men for a long time, and that's his page with him, Edward.
Oh, the guy with the kid, excellent.
Yeah. Hey,
how about the guy sitting under the tree over there? Do you recognize him?
No, I don't know who that is. Hey, Turk.
And we can hear the conversation between Turk and Malish.
Yeah, I'm gonna say for the sake of brevity and the sake of attunement, somebody's gonna have to keep track of this. Like you're gonna have the item that is Malish because he's kind of an item and he's a literal thing. Like it's a spirit of intellect.
Well, you already said he only work with me, so.
Yeah. So William, you got to keep track of him a little bit because he does like
Yep.
somebody could yeet him or yoink him. But I will say, as long as William permits it, this conversations can happen telepathically. So it's not like your dog is being like, "You should kill people." Like, no, it's the dog's not talking. It's, yeah. So he identifies Edward as the page and Thomas as the actor.
Thanks, Malish.
Hey, Turk.
Yes.
How do you think everybody's doing so far?
How everybody's doing what?
I mean, just
So
in
far?
general. I mean,
I think we're doing okay. What do you think?
yeah,
Are
me
you-
too. Keep it up, buddy.
All right. Appreciate it, Malish.
Yeah,
You're rocking it.
thanks.
Where's Wolf?
Okay, why don't I go talk to the kid? Because kids know a lot. They're kind of everywhere, and people forget that they're listening all the time.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm actually send Wolf in to see if he can pick up a trace from this blood that they're talking about and everything. You want me to see if he can?
You're gonna just send the dog into the building?
Well, I'm just letting people know that that's what I'm thinking of doing.
Okay.
What if he
Said
comes with me?
wolf.
He can be like my
Not
dog,
the pug.
and that way he can sniff around, but he's with somebody, and he's less likely to get, I don't know, killed or something.
I will. Can you? And I'll talk to Wolf and say, hey, do you want to go up there with Texas and just pretend like you're her dog? And actually, what I need you to do is see if you can sniff around, pick up a scent off the blood that they're talking about.
I can try.
If you would, I'll be right here, and we'll keep in touch. I'll make sure we stay in range. And
He trots over to where you are, Texas. The large
How
white dog.
clean is he?
He's damn clean. That's another reason
Okay.
that he's.
I tell him, I'm going to need you to take a minute and roll around in the dirt as much as you can.
did
Do you need
catch
to do that too, Texas?
He looks. No, Texas
yeah,
is. Texas is also like a child height, so while you guys were walking, any bit of mud or anything like that, you do not have to worry about muddying up this kid.
No.
Oh, okay. And I'm also just going to use prestidigitation and really muck him up a little bit.
Texas,
Up.
you look at Wolf and you're like, you're gonna have to roll in the mud. And he looks down at the mud and then looks back up at you.
Hey, Wolf, I think I know where she's going with this.
I still
It might
don't.
be
I don't like it.
I know you don't.
Okay, I
What if
can
she
take care of
passes
this.
Ellen makes
Just
you
boom, boom, boom. Prestidigitation. He's
Yeah.
all muddy and mucky and just gross looking. And I make myself look a little scruffier too.
If a dog could roll its eyes at you, Texas, that's what this dog would do. This.
You look beautiful, Wolf. All right, so I'm heading over to the kid.
Yeah, Texas, you head over to the kid. Thomas, you are right. This was a smart move. Children around this time area are practically invisible. This is the closest you can get to an invisibility cloak while you were staying here. Thomas pays you no mind as he is looking over a script currently and is sort of rehearsing lines to himself as he paces about the space, and Edward is sort of leaned up against a wall, sitting down. Occasionally, Thomas will drop a page like that he's finished reading, and Edward will snatch it out of the air and hold it into a little pile.
Oi, hello.
I was not ready. I was not ready.
Don't whisper, my friend.
Oh. Oh God.
Giving a lesson.
Oh God. Give me a performance check, Texas. Oh,
Isn't she already?
consider yourself at home. Consider yourself.
Oh gosh, I rolled a 5.
Yep.
That was a-
This kid is you're like, hello, Governor. Like, what'll that be? This kid looks over at you and goes, are you all right?
I'm not from around here.
It's okay. My
Aren't
sister,
you
my
staying far away?
no, it's all right. My sister got kicked in the head by a horse once too. It's fine.
Well, that happened too.
Yeah. Maybe you could just speak quieter then. It might be better.
Okay.
Not that quiet. That's now obscene. I don't know what you're doing.
Well, they want that lead.
What's your name?
Timmy.
Timmy?
My name's Timmy.
Timmy? That's an odd name.
Yeah. Well, they used to call me Tiny Tim,
Tiny.
but now I'm taller, so I'm just Timmy.
How old are you?
12?
Oh God, yeah. You're really little.
That's right, insulting.
You just told me your name was Tiny Tim.
Now it used to be.
Did you? They just call you
Now
Tim?
it's just Timmy.
Oh, all right. What are you doing here, Tim?
I've got a message for Richard Burbage.
Oh, you got a message for Richard Burbage. You
Yeah.
didn't hear what happened?
Ah,
He disappeared. He was supposed to be like the lead in this play. And
yeah, that's what they said. Where is he? Come on, you gotta know where he is.
Are you speaking like?
No idea.
He goes, I'm not sure. Give me a persuasion at disadvantage, Texas. Here you go.
Wow, disadvantage, huh?
You're being a little. You're living your truth, but it ain't the best truth ever.
No, it's still a 21 though, cause yay Bard.
He goes. Yeah, here, I'll show you. And he goes, sir, I have to use the privy. And Thomas just waves a hand. He's going over papers, and Edward takes you by the hand and leads you to the back of the theater, where there's a door there, and he looks about the space and then opens the door. As he brings you into the stage, Wolf is with you, correct? Like, you told Wolf to go with her. Wolf is with you. Texas, the scene before you is somewhat odd. The theater went through some odd building changes. They actually perform. This is amazing to me. So how the theater operated, they'd build a portion of it, they'd perform a play, they'd take the proceeds to continue building. So there were all these productions that happened in the stages of building the space. So it was like, welcome to outdoor theater. And then it was like, welcome to kinda outdoor theater. And then we got a roof. Like, it was just like, it's amazing. So you're in this space. The stage before you is somewhat large. There are no seats here. This was more like people would come up. They'd pay like the cheapest amount. This was like poop and fart jokes theater and things of that sort. People would come in. There were a few sort of box seats, but this is British South Park. Like, this is what this stage is built for. The stage has blood on it. There is a large pool in the center of the stage that looks like red, just like paint, but you detect the faint smell of iron that comes with that only comes with blood. And then there are steps in the blood that lead from the blood itself to a painted backdrop. The painted backdrop is that of a lush, like, sort of garden-scape, but that's where the red footsteps lead to.
Okay, is the painted backdrop flat against the wall? Like,
It
can
is.
you get behind the backdrop?
Yes, you can. You could get behind the wall. And he just takes you into the space, and he's like looking around, and he looks like Wolf goes over and just sort of smells the blood.
Is this a lot of blood, like the person didn't survive, or is this like, oh, they got just a little stab?
Medicine check, Texas.
Oh, thank goodness I rolled an 18 because I am not good at those. That is a 20.
It's a lot of blood. I mean, it's. I'm trying to figure. It's a lot of blood with a 20. Either a dude died here, or a dude tried to fight his way out of here, and it's not just his blood.
So what you think happened?
I think someone got stabbed.
Richard?
Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to close the theater down, I mean, what better way than to like get rid of the leading actor? There are some people coming to see this show not for William, but for Richard.
Can I ask real quick, how much of this am I picking up through the collars?
Are you shutting down your senses outside? And
I would be, as soon as they walked around.
Turk goes catatonic. Turk does not respond. He is not going to respond for the next bit of time to any verbal or auditory stimulus whatsoever. So I just want people to know this before you guys leave him standing in the middle of the street. Turk has checked out. So you're picking up on all of this, Turk, as you are listening and seeing through him. He goes, "We should probably go though. We're not supposed to be in here."
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Lee.
He looks at you and starts heading back out the door. He'll be the first one. He'll go out the door first. Do you go with?
Yes.
Okay. You leave and Wolf goes too. What's everybody else doing in the street during this whole interaction with Texas? That was smooth. I didn't expect that, Texas. Well done. Take DM inspiration. That was clever.
Aww.
Didn't expect anybody to talk to the kid. So Turk is kind of involved. William, you sent me what you're doing, right?
Yes.
Okay.
As soon as I see that Turk has blank screened even though I'm back in a human form, I'm assuming I'm still pretty tall.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So I am going to try and make sure he blends in a bit.
Sure. You're standing in front of Turk.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going to be turned towards Turk, since we're beside brothels.
Sure.
Kind of laying on him a little bit, so he doesn't look as awkward just standing there blank face.
Yeah. Okay.
Trying to listen to see if I can hear anything.
I think it's funny as people walk down the street, they just see you doing this slowly shifting to hello, to pop you. Kiara, I love this. This is great. Cass, what are you doing during this time?
Watching Appleman, Johnny Appleseed over there.
Cool. Okay. About
not trying to be conspicuous, but not.
Sure.
Every now and then glancing over.
As it looks like James is finishing, putting up posters, the Apple Man is going to take the apple core and sort of throw it behind him and stand up and brush.
Nothing more.
What's that?
What?
You said apple core. I said nothing more.
Apple core, nothing more. And he will brush his clothes and go, "Excuse me, sir. I hate to bother you, but I was heard that you might have a vacancy. Oui? Here at the theater, if you cannot find the missing actor." And James goes, "Yes, that is correct. Are you looking to? Are you an actor as well?" And the man says, "Well, in a way, yes. I am Monsieur Lestrange, and I am representing an acting company, and I am wondering if you have a space for this coming weekend." And James goes, "Why? I mean, it's quite possible. I won't know, and we're missing an actor, you see." And the man nods his head and goes, "Oui, I would not hope to impose upon any of you, but mayhaps, I take you out to dinner this evening, and you will understand that my intentions are bon and very good. Does that sound like something that you would be interested in? And James shakes his head. Yes. And yes, of course. Why don't you let us go? Why not tell me a bit about your play? And they begin to walk away from the space, and the last words you hear are, the play that I represent is a strange one, but it provides a powerful message. Have you heard of the Yellow King before? And this is what is said as Monsieur Lestrange walks down the street with James Burbage in tow. Okay. William, after a bit of time, you spend your time. So here's the deal. Thieves' Cant is not a language per se. I mean, it's not really a verbal, so it's more like hand gestures.
It's like expressing thoughts, but it's much longer time to express.
Right.
Concept.
So you being in this place and just being like whispering in Thieves' Cant, it's more like, hey, Spice, you got Spice? Like that's not how it would work. However, you could look around for symbols. Give me an investigation check as you look around the space, as you're looking for any sort of sign or things of that sort.
Uh, 16.
16. With the 16, you find quite a few symbols, especially in the seedier part of town. Most of the symbols surrounding this area, you look over at one of the brothels and you see a sign that says, essentially it stands for like, don't mess with them, they're protected. Which would be common in a brothel because they're pulling their own racket. Like there are people that have this covered already. Like you don't.
Does it give like a representative symbol of who's protected?
With the 16, you're able to see a unique symbol of what looks to be a small flower.
Okay, so now that I've identified who might be working the area, can I specifically look for that symbol?
The only other place that you find that symbol is at the front of the theater. On the front door leading into the theater, you find that symbol, the flower, and a little ways before that flower, like a little ways next to that flower, is this place has already been hit. It's not the symbol, don't mess with them, it's I've already cleaned the place out, or I've already done what I had to do.
Yeah.
Okay. After a bit of time, Turk regains consciousness. Texas comes back outside with Wolf in tow. The man that was underneath the tree eating the apple is gone. So is James. But William is kind of staring at the group, and especially at Kiara, who. So it was rumored that William was a lot like me. William was a people watcher. And you have provided him just the most interesting morsel of people watching, as the tallest woman he's ever seen is not doing anything but making small circles around a man that appears to be catatonic in the middle of the street. So as Texas and William and Cass, you all come out, and Turk, you come to consciousness, William Shakespeare walks up to you. Kiara, you recognize, and he goes, is he all right?
He hit his head a couple days ago. He's not been all right since.
I understand. Does he need medical attention?
No, he'll snap out of it a little bit. He just, he needs watching, you know?
Sure. Do you mind if I... Are you in the know?
I know about a few things.
Because I cast Detect Magic over there, and the lot of you are giving off quite a bit, so...
You shouldn't be casting out in the middle of nowhere.
Well, I can if it's subtle, can't I?
You can.
He...
Know a thing or two about that.
He shows you something you've never seen before, Kiara. he goes, there are ways to circumnavigate that. And he flips around the piece of paper that he's holding. And on the paper are the somatic components for Detect Magic. He has cast the spell by drawing pictures of hands on the spell, performing those components, and then the verbal components, and writing them down all on the paper. And as he done that, you realize that he has been able to cast the spell using the paper.
That is very, very smart.
Thank you. Here, take it, please. Consider it inspiration.
Thank you. I would gladly appreciate it.
Kiara, go ahead and take a D8 of inspiration. He's the bard.
That's beautiful. I love that so much.
So am I out of my...
Yeah, all of you are out of this space, and you see Kiara speaking with William. You're actually very close, Turk. Texas, you're out of this as well. Edward has gone back to standing in front of Thomas, who's throwing papers in the air, and Edward is catching. But
how close is the nearest playbill? Is it something that Wolf is looking to actually scoring one of these playbills for the midnight?
It's not there's no playbills. There's some large-ish posters. Paper was a hot commodity back in the day. So when I say largest papers, I mean stuff that has already been like sort of rudimentary, like plastered to the wall. But there's no loose playbills. There might be something special that they would give out to some of the higher paying customers. You'd have to pay like a bit of money to get in. If you wanted a playbill, it would be extra on top of that. And it's a one sheet. It's just a quick breakdown of the entirety of the play on the back, so that some of the people that weren't good at hearing, you could read the entirety of the play in simplistic form. So
well, Turk is going to do what he can, just letting you know to score one of these. Just bring him back to the island.
You got like 4 days, right? It's the 20th. You got 4 days in order to get them. Okay.
I'm going to talk to Wolf and ask it, did you catch a scent?
I did.
Can you do a quick circuit, see if you can see if that scent is leading off?
He never left.
He never left. Are you saying he's still inside the theater?
I'm saying the blood didn't leave the theater.
Oh, interesting. I'm going to pass that on to anybody that's nearby.
Sure. William is nearby. So as I'll say this. Mike is going to be William. I'll say Willie Shakes. So Willie hears that as well.
I probably would have said it where he couldn't.
Then Kiara's not going to hear it.
Okay, then
Kiara.
Did I see the interaction that he knows magic and everything?
Yeah.
I'm going to take that as a good sign, and I'll probably allow him to hear it as well. Then.
It's very nice to meet all of you. I've been talking with your friend. I'm sorry I didn't catch your name.
You can call me C.
C. Okay. That's perfect. I'm William Shakespeare. All of you magic users.
We're all from the same place, and we all can do things. Not all of us magic.
Oh, that's lovely. Do you work for pay?
We're here to lend some assistance.
To anyone, or
We do what we can.
Would you? Yes, William.
If it's possible, having heard that he didn't leave the theater, I'd like to try and slip away from the group into the theater to
absolutely
snoop around.
Yeah. Split the party. Willie's talking with Turk and Texas and Kiara and Cass, and William, you going in through the front door? You sliding around to the back?
Around to the back, yeah.
Give me a stealth check.
21.
Okay. William pulls a Batman on you guys, where you guys are like, well, William, what do you think on next? William? He's just not there. As William heads over to the back of the theater. William, you see the scene in which I've given to all of them. Give me an investigation check.
I would just like to say my passive perception is 22. I'm just throwing that out there.
So, Turk, you would notice William's breaking away. I'll grant you that, buddy. Thank you. No, that helps.
All right, so that is, you said I would do an investigation.
Yeah, absolutely.
27.
Okay. Pool of blood, footsteps leading up to this portrait. I mean, the footsteps seem to stop at this theatrical backdrop of a lush garden scene.
Okay. Is there a title on it? Or is there anything?
No, you would know that the money for sets in a play like this was nil. The fact that somebody took the time to paint anything on this backdrop means that these guys are on the cusp of avant-garde. Normally it's a blank stage and you have a person who walks on and goes, "You are in a castle. The castle is lush with furniture." And like the fact that anything was painted on this means that these guys, which is true, Lord Chamberlain's men were like the improv troupe that's like, what if we did this? What if we played D&D on camera? Like they tried weird stuff. So it's not, there's no sign to it. It's just an ornate background painted of a lush garden.
Is it very detailed, or is it like paint by numbered on?
It's more paint by numbered. It's not that detailed.
Gotcha.
What was your investigation?
27.
Okay.
It was a nat 20 with a 7.
You're picking up.
7.
How about this? If it's a nat 20, buddy, you don't know if it's your brain playing tricks on you, but you smell grass.
Can I take out the immovable rod and like hold it into? And if I hold it into place, it won't move.
Click.
Just in the air.
Okay. You're just gonna touch the painting.
Touch the background. Yeah.
Okay. You take your hand, you extend it forward, and the minute your finger touches that green paint of the background, nothing happens. It just sticks to the background. Like it
Right.
points it.
Are there any like stage rooms here or anything like that?
There's a backstage.
Okay, so I'd like to continue to search the backstage as well.
Okay, let's cut to let's cut to the rest of the group as William has snuck away, and Turk, you've seen him sort of sneak around to the back of the theater, and he goes, I actually, I don't have many people that I could talk to about this, but I could use some help if you're available. I don't know how much involved you are with the current situation, but I'm missing an actor, and more importantly, I'm missing a friend, and I'm worried that it might be a bit my fault.
What happened?
I'm a writer, and there are times
I've
where...
heard.
Thank you. That's sweet. Everyone's always encouraging me to reach out, and I wanted to do something amazing, because this feels like a transitional point for me. This feels like the next step to greatness, and I wanted it to be good. I wanted it to be really good. So everything I wrote, I had this dumb idea about a guy whose father gets killed, and it just wasn't ready yet, and then I had another idea about people getting lost in the woods, and mistaken twins and identity, but I feel like every other play I write is about this, and I needed something out there and different, and so I sought help.
How did you seek help?
I struck a bargain.
Does this
Broken
mean
deal.
anything to any of us at this point?
Does this mean what, Turk?
Does this strike a chord with any of us as striking a bargain?
Don't know, does it?
I don't know if it would be something we'd ever would have had.
I mean, you've played enough D&D that you would know that, like, Homeboy's treading close to warlock territory. I mean, like,
Yeah,
you
Cass
don't...
was about to be like, oh, like a warlock.
Yeah, if Cass said that, Willie would be like, no, less unsavory. It
A
seemed...
minor pact, then.
No, it seemed mutually beneficial.
Ooh, so like someone cool. I mean, good.
What do you mean it seemed mutually beneficial?
We...
Quietly, Cass is gonna chastise herself and then steal herself and then let the scene run.
What is the most important thing in the entire world? What is it that every man, woman, and child wants?
Happiness.
I thought it was to be remembered. Since I've been a child, I just wanted to be remembered for something. I wanted the name William Shakespeare to be synonymous with greatness. There's an immortality in that, the greatness that comes with creating something so wonderful. And I've spent my entire life wanting this, and apparently I wasn't alone. There are others that want their name out there. They want to be remembered.
Like who?
Like the Unseelie cults. The Fae. They needed an outlet, a way to get their name out there so that they would be remembered. And I was taken there. I met the strangest individuals, this fairy by the name of Puck, and this woman named Mab, and there were others as well, Titania and Aurora, and there is a whole other world outside of this one, and they wanted desperately to be remembered, and I felt it in my soul because that's all I've ever wanted too, and so I could be remembered, and they could be remembered in eternity. Because this play, once it gets out there, people will remember A Midsummer Night's Dream, and they will remember the name Puck. And if I'm doing my job right, they will know who these people are.
What did you specifically do in the cult?
I'll show you.
Okay.
And William will lead Turk. Willie will lead Turk, William, Texas, Kiara, Cass, and Wolf, and now Malish, who's just like, this is pretty fun, guys. He's so, like, well-spoken.
Okay, and William is not with us at the moment.
William is not with you. Is there a momentary panic as you guys all head off and you guys realize that William's gone?
As we all what? Sorry, it broke up.
Is there a momentary panic when you all realize as you walk off that William is gone?
Well, so is Malish, because Malish is with me.
Oh yeah, Malish is going to be with you.
Yes and no.
Are we used to this?
Not necessarily that we're used to this, but now that he's a team member and we have played D&D, we know what rogues are supposed to do.
Okay.
So I think for Kiara, it's like one of those. It's not like a
Gone off
instant panic,
again.
but it's more of an eye roll thing.
And anybody expressing concern?
No,
Does anybody express concern?
Cass is gonna look around, kind of just trying not to look suspicious. Don't be suspicious. No, and
Don't be suspicious.
don't be suspicious. I'm sorry. And
I'll just kind of lean over to Cass, and he went to the theater.
wait, like inside?
Well, he was heading in that direction. I didn't want to throw him off. You know, he's doing that whole rogue thing. He thinks he's pretty sneaky.
But you did see him go that way?
He was heading towards the theater. I just assumed that's where he was headed when he found out that Bert says never left.
Okay.
Willie?
Call him out.
Texas. This is perfect. You're walking backstage. You're walking into the theater, correct? Willie is not going first. Give me a marching order.
I'd be up towards the front.
Texas, you're first.
I've already been in there before.
Okay. Followed by
I'd probably send Wolf in with her,
Texas, Wolf.
but I'd probably hang back a little bit.
Towards the back. Cass.
Near Turk.
Kiara.
I'm near Willie because we were in conversation.
Yeah, so we'll put you middle of the pack then. Texas,
Okay, that's fine.
you're leading the way towards the back. William, let's cut back to you. You're looking behind the scene. You see, as you begin to search about the space, another kid. This kid looks to be digging through a pile of refuse and wood, and just like picking up pieces of wood and just being like, and like putting the wood down, and then like he picks up like a paintbrush and he like looks at it and he like puts it on top of his head and just. And he's just like picking up random pieces and he's got his back turned to you.
All right. I would like to stealth over to where he's at and see if I can't squat down beside him.
Yeah, I'll let you do that. He's preoccupied. Yeah.
And then maybe like, so what are we giggling at?
He'll like turn around and look at you. You're old.
I know, isn't that funny?
Are you one of them?
Which one is them?
You're different from the writer guy.
Yeah, because I'm not the writer.
Oh. Who are you?
That's weird. I was going to say the same thing.
I bring presents.
Ooh, what'd you bring?
This?
Ooh,
And he reaches in his pack and he pulls out a flower.
You cut out right when you said what it was.
He pulls out a red flower.
Ooh, what kind of flower is that?
And he blows it, and
You
the flower just gets all up in your face, buddy, and he causes you to sneeze a little bit.
You sneaky.
Man.
Technically, does it only go in one eye?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so as this flower gets in your eye, you kind of blink a little bit, and that kid is gone. He's not there when you open up your eyes, but you do hear your party coming in.
All right, can I real quick use eye for deceit, or no, actually, eye for detail?
Yeah.
And look for any hidden creature or object.
Sure. As you do that, give me a roll.
Yep. All right, that's 19 on the die, so that would be 29.
Okay. 29. You see that small boy as you begin to dart about the space and look. Because of your particular rogue class, I want to honor this. With a 29, you look up at the ceiling and you see him. You see the small kid, and you don't see him, but you see a little bit of the weight on one of the bars like sagging a little bit, almost like he's invisible, and he's sitting up there and sort of kicking his legs back and forth. Occasionally, you'll hear like a and he's invisible and he's up there. However, you do hear the back door open, and you turn and look, and William, buddy, the most beautiful, short, country-speaking creature from the heaven above.
Okay, hold up. What did you do that you messed up so bad that you have to embellish it this much?
William, you've seen Texas before, but buddy, the stars at night are big and bright. Deep in your heart is Texas. As you turn around and you look at the most beautiful girl in the world, and you just hear, what fools these mortals be. And that's where we're going to end the episode tonight, guys.
No. It can't be that late.
It's 9:53, my dude. thank you so much for tuning in to the first episode of the William Shakespeare arc as we try to figure out a way to make it into the summer court and talk to the people that William Shakespeare has made a pact with to achieve immortality so that their name will never be forgotten as well as his. And William gets to talk to the love of his life.
Can I catch a
The
break?
person he loves more than anything in the whole world.
Oh my god, I can't wait. Wait.
William, if you want, you need to start preparing some poems and stuff like that too, buddy, because like,
I'll send you
I
some
want
things.
poetry.
so we love you guys so much. Indigo Connect, thank you for hanging out with us and getting lost. We're gonna go raid somebody really quick. Indigo, do you have a person?
Yeah, we're going to go over to Unleashed. They're raising money for the Australian bushfires.
Yes,
So,
do it,
Nice.
do it. We love you guys. Indigo Connect. Let's go raid a group and do some good in this world. Heart hands for everybody, and Lord, what fools these mortals be. We'll see you all very, very soon.